Hey collective, welcome to angel number 315. Listen, the way the sun was just shining, it was like it kind of canceled out the color of my shirt. It was like a real high contrast of just yellow. As soon as I clicked the button, what happened? It went to normal. Listen, we are preparing for this Lionsgate portal, this 8/8 that we only get once a year. All right, so we celebrate this every year. I don't know if this is a holiday or anything like that, but this is something to celebrate. So we're in Leo season, so I want to say happy birthday to all the Leos out there. I'm not a Leo, but I do have a lot of fire in my chart. So I would encourage you to look in your chart to see where Leo is at and check that out and see what's so significant about that. All right, we got this 7th house energy out here. This talks about relationships. Libra also came out. That also talks about relationships. And then we have Jupiter, the planet, and it says learn or teach, grow and expand. I think this Lionsgate portal is very significant because it allows us to set intentions for the future as well as focus on our personal goals that we always claim that we have these goals, right? But we always seem to lose track or lose focus of those goals. Leo Lionsgate portal also focuses on transformation and manifestation as well. So that's why this Jupiter energy here is very important because it talks about grow and expand. So we're talking about transforming things, bringing those manifestations into fruition. This could have been easy for some of you at first, but this also may be a challenge for you. Meaning like, it's kind of given like, you know how it's easier said than done, right? So when you're in school, it's easy to read about something and to be able to process the meanings and the signs and the synchronicities, the symbolisms and things like that. When it comes to taking in the information and learning about something, it's a whole nother ball game when you're actually putting that stuff to work, gaining the necessary experience that you need and applying that knowledge, that wisdom that you obtain to the actual, kind of get what I'm saying? So there could be a need to write things down, make sure you meditate, get out, go to a park, get in tune with the earth, and also practice gratitude as well. So let's see. It looks like somebody here in the collective is concerned about some things, and it just goes hand in hand with what I was saying about applying that theory to the practical. We got cards falling all on the floor. It's inevitable. I can't stop these cards from falling on the floor, and I despise it so much, but I cannot do anything about it. At the bottom of the deck, we have office room. I'm laughing because I'm in my car, right? I don't really like doing readings in my car, but I have learned to adapt to doing readings in my car. So now I look at this as my new office space, right? It says change is your secret career accelerant. Lean into discomfort to discover potential. And I feel like that's really important here because lots of times people don't like to change, but change is inevitable. It's bound to happen, yet and still none of us really want to do it. Ain't that ironic? Also, I was just thinking of that before I got on live here because I'm like, man, these things are hard for me. Some things are just really hard to just adapt to, but it's all a part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? So here we got roller skates, and I'm going to show you this card because it's pretty, right? I got some people next to me, some things going on in the background, so try to stay focused, all right? It talks about happiness and release. Unlock sealed happiness and release the constraints of adulthood. Oh my gosh. It wasn't I just talking about this? So what's happening right now around me? Because I know some of y'all want to know, well, what the fuck is going on? So there's a program here where the local library helps assist homeless people with getting their showers and things like that, which I think is awesome, right? But me being in this position that I'm able to see a whole lot, and I've been able to find light in darker places, find happiness in other darker places. Story time real quick. So y'all know my situation right now. I'm currently living that nomad life. I like to call it that. I don't really like to call it homelessness, even though that's what it is because I'm in my car, right? Well, I'm not taking any showers with them or anything like that, but I do make sure I get my shower in every day. But I've been in a situation and it's the creepiest thing ever, and it's just weird. But I don't question things because I'm just watching God work in mysterious ways, right? Anyways, listen, I'm just gonna fast forward this story because me trying to explain it, you just wouldn't even like what? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I've been gifted $15, some damn Popeye's chicken, and some fries from homeless people. Y'all. Like, this is mind-boggling me. I listen. So, anyways, this is what I'm saying. It says unlock sealed happiness. And then it goes with what I was saying about finding happiness or light in a darker place. It says release the constraints of adulthood. I know it's some people out there that's struggling with trying to figure out their situation and what's about to happen or what's happening. And it's a lot of people that really get deep down and in the dumps about their situation and what's going on. But I do want to encourage everybody to look at the brighter side of things, or try to at least. Or if you can't do that at this moment, you will. I'm not saying that get ready to be out, but if you know, you know. This is for the people who have or are experiencing something similar to, or could potentially be experiencing something that's similar to that, right? I really just hope that people can make it through a tough situation like this, because it's really not for the weak. It took me to get to this point to realize, wow, I really can't get no lower than this. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the attacks and the bad things people had to say, and here's a little bit of light that I can shed too. It doesn't matter what stage I am in life. I'm still going to be hated. It is so crazy the amount of stares, mean mugs that I get. And at the same time, it's really sad. I see women that are in happy relationships, men too, let's not leave them out. But it's mainly the women because they look at me as a threat, as I'm a woman, right? So they look at me and they looking at their man. And I'm just thinking to myself the whole time, you just really don't even know my story. You have no clue, but I find it hilarious that you're threatened by me. And so that just says a lot. It just says a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to see things very much so clearly from this point of view. I feel like God put me in this position because he really wanted me to see. This is where you need to actually be. You need to be able to see from this point of view here. Because it was something inside of you, meaning me, that feared being put in this type of position. And I need you to not do that. You know what I'm saying? Because when we fear things, we have our own, I don't want to say understanding, or we have our own misconceptions in our minds about what we think about the situation, what we think about people in those situations. So on the opposite hand, I'm in this situation, but I also have to be cloaked. I can't tell everybody about my situation. Everybody's not going to be receptive to that information. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but maybe this helps organize somebody's mindset out there to just be aware of what to expect in certain situations. Everybody's situation is different. Not saying everybody is going to ever go through something like this. Hopefully you won't, but just to gain more clarity, more understanding. This is how I'm able to, a lot of times in situations, get ahead. I think ahead, but I can't think ahead and I can't fully be there to help people if I'm always at a particular level. And so in the moments like this, I know it sounds crazy, but I still thank God. I do. Unlock sealed happiness. So in these situations where I've gotten down on myself and all the negative talk I could possibly do or hear, or, you know, since I'm highly empathic, I feel a lot of surrounding energies in my energy, and I can feel that energy and I can hear exactly what's going on too. So hearing and seeing all that is a lot. it could weigh down on you. You know what I'm saying? But I had to remember who I was. I was always the type of person who I never gave a fuck about what nobody thought. And I swear to you, me having that thought, it was like, boom, light bulb. And it helped me realize I really did forget who I was for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get to where I was at before by worrying about what a motherfucker think. Eventually, along the way, I had started to feel the feels of being concerned about what people think and all of that. But now it's just like, no, not at all. Because I remember who I am. All right, y'all, we moving along because we already, 15 minutes in this thing? Listen, we got car out here. Didn't I just say something about car? Travel, movement, journey. Tell me whoever made this card don't know something. Whoever made this card, they know something. I'm telling you. It says your story takes a new turn at the next intersection. Listen, people be feeling like in situations like God done forgot about them and stuff like that, but I'm a living testimony of God has not forgotten about you, right? Even in the most darkest times, because there are dark times. I'm talking about darker times than this, right? Talking about losing people. So you're talking about death. And then once you get triggered in that kind of way, it's hard to recover, just depending on how the situation transpired, because not everybody just pass along. Some people is pretty tragic when it happens. But you do need to know that your story is not over. It's a journey. It does take a lot of twists and turns. You just have to be open to change. And we was talking about that at the beginning. And what I've noticed about older people is that not everybody, but it's just enough of older people who feel like that they don't have to change. And that right there, that's not true. So I feel like once those people feel like that they can't change, they're pretty much okay with it's kind of given, I don't even know the word for it, but it's just the way of society. It's just the way of the world. Get married, have kids, go to school. It's all of that. It's not so much of following your own spiritual path and being led by spirit, God, source, the universe, in that type of way, right? It's like adopting traditions when it comes to religion, things that are passed down to you that you really don't understand on a spiritual level, but you take that information in because why? Because my mom did it, and she's not one to change, and I'm not one to change either. My daddy is cool with it whether he go to church or not, and that's just how they've been operating. So that's what we talking about. We got home gym, and it's a treadmill on this card. I do like the pictures on these cards. It says push, pain, breakthrough, a nudge through pain. Growth comes when you are forced to move. But my thing is, why should you have to be forced to move? Why? It's because a lot of times people don't have it in their mind to just get up and fucking move. Like I said, it's a lot of older people who feel like they're used to the things that's happening in their life, the way that their life is going. And you have people who are resistant to change. They don't want to change. They don't want to have to figure out a whole new way of eating, having to meal prep and going that whole direction. They don't want to have to figure out what God is calling them to do. I would rather work this 9-to-5 job. And a lot of times people are just unable to do it because they have to take care of the ones who sacrifice their life for people. People get old. You have to do what you have to do. I was there before too. We got dryer here. It's a actual dryer. So balance, enjoyment, build a cycle of release, feel fresh with a lighter heart. That's interesting that they chose dryer because if clothes are wet, then of course you're not gonna feel lighter. So hold on, y'all. It's hot as fuck in here, by the way. I got the windows up because it blocks out a lot of that light, but it's hot. And once you break that sweat, listen, we talking about Leo. We talking about the sun. All right, somebody's sun sign could be Leo. I got yellow on. It's hot. All right, y'all. We gonna get into it because somebody in the collective seems to be a little worried about something here. Maybe somebody's finances is kind of shaky, kind of rocky, and you don't know which way that it's gonna go, that it's heading. So let's just see. Now it's to the point where people like pull up, park next to me. They see me doing what I do and I keep it moving. I don't care. Listen, you see me doing tarot on my card, you just keep it pushing, mind your business, all right? You see me out here in these streets doing tarot, mind your business, all right? So what is this concern here for the collective? What does the collective need to know? So what I'm getting here with this Queen of Pentacles that's in the reverse, as well as this Eight of Swords here, I'm seeing that there's somebody who is worried about their current situation. So whoever you are, you might actually be a little bit too focused on the end result. With this Eight of Wands, not Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords there, being trapped, all right? Letting your thoughts control you. It's taking over. So too much of that, it can start spilling over into devil energy. Hold on real quick. All right, y'all, I had to turn some AC on. I had to turn it on, okay? Also, what I'm seeing here too is that whoever you are, you know exactly what it is that you want to do, what route you want to go when it comes to something, an endeavor. This could be something new, a job. Maybe you really feel like you're not ready to move on to a new job, but honestly, Spirit is here telling you that you have exactly what it takes. Maybe if you got a little nudge, it was an idea you thought of, maybe you didn't take it too seriously. Spirit is saying that's exactly what I'm calling you to do. But with this Death card here that's in reverse, you're fighting against it. So not only are you worried and you're worried about the results, the outward income, the outward result. I guess that makes sense too though. But being worried about the result is you're not able to fully enjoy the journey, right? And I think we all do that. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't do that. I make sure because this should be hard for me too. But this is why I'm here now, to tell you, listen, this is what it is and this is how you gotta move, and you gotta dip, dodge, dive, duck through that thing. We got this Three of Wands that's in reverse here. So the Three of Wands, initially I could look at it as blockages, right? But that's really somebody not taking some sort of action to do something. So are you not taking action to do something? What's going on in this situation? It's like you're concerned, but the concern is like you already know what it is. So what you gonna do about it? Next, we got Trusted out here. So let's get into that. See what Trusted is. I just put a card back in the deck because it fell on the floor. Listen, I ain't got time to play. Spirit, stop throwing these cards on the floor. Shit. All right. I don't know. Maybe you could feel like worry because maybe you feel like something is going to turn out like how it did before in the past. Maybe you're used to situations where people are not equally giving. They're just taking. All right. So you're like a giver. They take. You don't really receive like that. I hope you're not on the side of the fence where you just constantly taking all the time, because that's an imbalance. God did send that as a gift, but also knowing when to reciprocate. All right, whoever that's for. We do have a King of Cups here, so just take the energy as it resonates. But talking about somebody here who definitely has their emotions under control. I don't know, I could be talking to a masculine or a feminine energy. So whoever you are, you could be in a situation that is kind of competitive when it comes to a job, meaning there's a lot of candidates that qualify for a job. And it's like deep down inside, you really long for more in life, achievements and different things of that nature. But you have some sort of issue with making a decision. We got this Two of Swords that's here, that's in reverse here. This could be for some sort of title, or this could be for a group. This could even be with a family. Excuse me. I know a lot of times families hold different events. They operate more like an organization or something like that. I do see the Hierophant here in reverse. Not reverse, but upright. Excuse me. All right. The King of Pentacles is in reverse. So it's just a need to be careful, because it's like your heart is open to things with that King of Cups kind of energy, but it's like your energy is more focused on material possessions. So you might see somebody have something, and so now you're like, man, I wish I had that. How do I get that? How did you do it? This is less of a practical stand about something. So maybe, or this could be some sort of energy in the past. Maybe somebody here in the energy took some steps to obtain something and it really wasn't the practical way of doing something. Maybe there was a more practical route to actually get something, but this went in a whole nother way. But it's just like, what you have to know in this situation, being in that King of Pentacles and reverse energy, is that it won't satisfy you. that whatever this energy is not satisfying at all. It's not giving. All right. Somebody could have made you feel like you could trust them, and maybe that's the reason why you decided to get involved in whatever that is. You could be the one trying to convince somebody to trust you as well, and a person just simply don't trust you because they looking at the way that you operate in. And that's just period. So the next energy we got out here is poverty. So we're gonna look into poverty because that's what we talking about, right? So it's poverty here. Oh, that's 2 cards. So what I'm getting with that Knight of Pentacles that's in reverse is like, maybe you've been through a lot and you just really feel beat down to the motherfucking ground. You feel like, man, listen, I'm cool. It's just like you can't really make that, you can't let that be the reason why it stop you or hinder you from progressing or moving forward. You also could be being really overreactive in a situation, really beating yourself down, and the spirit is telling you not to do that. And it's a little bit of fear involved too with that Hermit that's in reverse. Maybe you withdrew. You wanted to just forget about the shit that's going on. It's giving the feeling of going into solitude. So meaning you could be taking some time off of a certain event that you go to. People, well, where was you at? And you're like, well, I had this to do. But damn well, you really didn't have that to do. You was just trying to separate yourself from people. I don't know. It's giving that. And you have to stop yourself in that track and realize what's happening in that situation. These are the things that people don't even really think about. Because what you separating yourself from is the fact that you were overstimulated because you probably overdid something. And now you in a situation where you feeling just burnt out, drained, or something like that is what it's giving. And what I tell you, we got the 6 of Wands here with the 3 of Pentacles that's in reverse with Temperance. Now, the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, that's somebody who don't even want to do it for real. But somebody here trying to alchemize this energy because they want to have victory and success so bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on now. You doing something that you don't want to do. I hate to break it to you, but it ain't no turning back. The way life was, there's no more. It's no going back. All right? God said, you done lived enough life. Now, I need you to do something for me. Type shit. We got blocked here. I don't know why my voice keep doing that. Somebody's trying to stop me from talking. It's crazy. Let me drink some water. All right. My throat still feel kind of weird. Anywho, we gonna get this energy for blocked. We gonna look this up. I feel like this energy goes back to what I was saying a little bit earlier. The energy of somebody being involved in something that they probably shouldn't be involved in, and then trying to come together with another person. But that person not wanting to be around you because they understand fully what's going on. Somebody that could be high priestess kind of energy and shit out here. So we have a King of Wands that's in reverse here. All right. King of Wands. Then we have the Knight of Cups with the Lovers card. I don't know what this man is doing. He's pounding a stake into the ground. I don't know. Maybe he about to put a sign up or something. Anywho. So this is wanting to take somebody some sort of offer so you can have like an equal give and take, or have like a mutual kind of emotional exchange with somebody. Maybe you want to give somebody a gift, some flowers, a romantic gesture, something that's nice or kind or something like that. But this King of Wands is here and it's in reverse. And what that is saying, that's like somebody who's bossy. This could be a boss. I don't know if this is a job situation. I hope not. Maybe your boss is bringing you, y'all donuts, pizza, and all that kind of shit because they trying to make up for something. I don't know. And then there's some sort of dissatisfaction or something like that. Dissatisfaction. We're going to get more into that because I want to see what that's about. And then there's the 2 of Pentacles that's in reverse. Definitely giving imbalanced energy. So it's giving maybe you are overloaded with too much work and you can't even maintain it. Let's get into it to see what's happening in this situation, because I just feel like it's more going on, more to that story. So what is this 4 of Wands in reverse with the 2 of Pentacles in reverse? What happened in this situation? See, this is crazy. This is fucked up, man. I just really feel like whoever you are, you definitely have a mission in life. Somebody here was left out in the cold and somebody was trying to win at all costs. This could have been like a third party situation where maybe a third party has say so over whoever this person is, who is a very giving person. And maybe this person decided, or maybe this is you, who you planned on giving back to the community and really just sharing your gifts. But these could have been some people who left you out in the cold, and then they blamed you for leaving them out in the cold. There's a lot of moving parts with that, but basically how it's showing up here is like, it's like you left them out in the cold, and then they try to retaliate and attack you. That's crazy. People be doing the most. But we do have the Wheel of Fortune here. That's things that's getting ready to change. All right. And then the Queen of Cups, that's in reverse. So that's definitely giving female, not female, but feminine energy. So I think what happened in this situation is, it's a lot of shit going on, but somebody definitely didn't want you to know what they was doing, what they was up to. Definitely wanted you to be in that energy of self-sabotage. But it's with this Queen of Cups that's in reverse, you manipulating your own energy, your own emotions, right? So maybe after so much trauma, you start to feel the effects and you really can't sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's like you losing out on sleep, missing out on sleep. You might be under a lot of stress, anxiety, depression even. And then the Devil card is associated with it right after that. But then we have the Strength card. So that's like you remembering who the fuck you is, and Spirit's way of saying, remember who you are, Simba, type of time. And that was the energy of being blocked or blocking somebody. And I think that's why somebody is concerned. That was that first card. Somebody is concerned because they're being blocked. You taking your life back, okay? You taking your soul back. Telling the devil that he won't win, all right? That's exactly what you're doing. So those were the messages. I hope that you were able to find clarity within those messages. I hope the messages were able to help you. Let me know how it resonated. All right. I always appreciate comments, likes, subscribes even. All right. Don't stay hidden in the background, because I can definitely feel the energy. I'm gonna need for y'all to show your girl some love. Hit the like button and make sure you do what God told you to do, because I'm gonna do what God told me to do. All right. Until next time. Peace.